I happened to think of WRTV, and I thought sometimes they help people.
RTV6 is helping people across central Indiana, working for you to help make your life and community safer.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. First at 11, this crumbling railroad bridge has people dialing the RTV6 newsroom and asking for help addressing this problem.
Yeah, it's on the city's west side near Rockville Road and Holt Road. Our Graham Hunter reports this is not the first time RTV6 has been called to check out concerns about this same bridge.
The walls are cracking, chunks are missing.
There's leaks in it.
And neighbors are saying
It's going to fall apart if somebody don't take care of it.
Ron Brooks lives just around the corner from this underpass the train drives over. The bridge is maintained by CSX.
It's a very dangerous bridge to go underneath.
Chief among Brooks' concerns.
Is it going to fall when a train's sitting there at standstill?
Brooks isn't the first person to voice concerns about the bridge to RTV6. We checked it out in December after neighbors worried it was crumbling. A spokesperson from CSX told us then they would make repairs.
I don't think that bridge is safe enough for a train to be on top of. It needs to be replaced or remodeled or something.
A spokesperson for CSX told RTV6 Friday the bridge was inspected on April 29th and that no issues were found, saying it is safe for railroad operations.
When you're coming under there, what kind of goes through you as you're passing underneath?
Is it going to fall?
A CSX spokesperson said in a statement, the track structure on bridges are inspected and monitored periodically each week, and any issues are immediately reported and promptly addressed.
The train's going both ways on it. You know, that's a lot of weight on that bridge.
Brooks has his own reasons to be concerned.
My grandkids.
Who he says often spend time at his house.
I don't want no train falling over into a yard or anything like that.
And says it's time for some action.
It needs to be fixed.
Reporting from the west side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
In a statement released to RTV6, CSX said their bridges are thoroughly inspected using detailed protocols by dedicated teams of inspectors who are extensively knowledgeable about engineering standards.
Working for you, RTV6 is getting results for frustrated drivers after they reached out to us for help. Several people tell RTV6 elevators in this parking garage across from the State House are frequently out of order. That garage is 10 stories high, and they say there are no warning signs to let drivers know the elevators are broken.
For myself, I have vertigo, so it's difficult to use the stairwell. And you shouldn't have to be forced to use the stairwell.
I feel bad for the people who have more significant disabilities who can't navigate stairs, because then they have no way to get up to their car.
Circle Center Mall operates the elevators in the structure. After we brought this issue to the company, they repaired one of the elevators and say the other one is in the process of being fixed. We will continue to follow up until that happens.
And a homeowner who turned to RTV6 for help is also getting results. Marlene Woodcock says she hasn't been able to send her mail out for months after someone hit her mailbox, damaging it. The post office wants the mailbox to be replaced so the mail is secure, but no one is willing to replace it because a Comcast cable line is buried in the area.
The post office told me that there's really no place else to put my mailbox, but he had no authority to require Comcast to come out and move his cable.
RTV6 reached out to Comcast directly on Marlene's behalf, and after we called, crews checked out the mailbox location again and now say they are going to move the cable line 2 feet back and will have the problem fixed within 48 hours.
Thousands of people are still in the dark tonight, more than 24 hours after storms swept through central Indiana. That includes nearly 5,000 IPL customers and around 800 Duke Energy customers. Hopefully power will be restored soon as heat moves in. And Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts joins us now, tracking temperatures in the mid-80s. Kyle.
Yeah, Amanda, it's feeling a little more summer-like out there. We had temperatures in the 80s this afternoon. It looks like we'll do that again tomorrow. It's still warm out there downtown, coming in at 73 degrees this evening. The rest of us sitting into the middle to upper 60s. Greenwood just into the upper 60s right now. Had a few showers over far northern portions of central Indiana. You can see that those have faded away, and we're starting to really clear out those skies. So a quiet night of weather. We're not going to have to worry about any additional thunderstorms. And as we get that weekend going, maybe you're going to be heading out to Mayberry in the Midwest tomorrow morning in Hendricks County. Check out those temperatures. Very comfortable. Not even really going to need that light jacket. 64 at 7. 7 a.m. Already into the mid-70s at 10 with lots of sunshine. So we'll talk about that Saturday heat coming our way, some Sunday storm chances, and a cool down for next week.
Kyle, thank you. Vice President Mike Pence returns to Indiana tomorrow. He will give the commencement address at Taylor University in Upland in Grant County. The ceremony starts at 10 a.m. in the Kessler Student Activity Center. The vice president was in Indianapolis earlier this week for Senator Richard Lugar's funeral.
11 candidates are being considered to be the next superintendent of Indianapolis Public Schools. That's how many people applied for the position, according to the district. Applications are no longer being accepted. School commissioners will meet next week to review the applications. IPS says the names of the finalists will be announced and interviews will be public.
Caught on camera, a masked man pointing a gun at a Kokomo convenience store during a robbery. Police are asking for your help identifying the suspect, and there's another image that shows a clear picture of his face. Police say before robbing the One Stop Express on Washington Street yesterday morning, the suspect stood outside the store without a mask on. He's wearing a sweatshirt that says South Basketball. If you have any information, call Kokomo Police at 765-456-7017. We're working to learn the circumstances surrounding a deadly shooting on the southwest side of Indianapolis. This happened just after 1:30 on Whitcomb Avenue near West Washington Street and Lyndhurst Drive. Police say a second person was taken to the hospital with injuries that do not appear to be life-threatening.
RTV6 is working for you, pushing for answers and action in your community. But we're not the only ones. Tonight, we turn our attention to young people in the community who are working for you through unique projects and acts of service, like 10-year-old Reese Hamilton.
It made my heart bigger and bigger every time I do these things.
Reese is holding a walk this weekend to promote peace and an end to violence across Indianapolis. If he looks familiar, that's because we first introduced you to Reese in 2016 when he was 8 years old.
I wanted to stop because one day I might die from something like this.
After a shooting that left 2 people dead in his northeast side neighborhood, Reese walked up to our crew and read a letter he wrote calling for change and an end to gun violence. His message caught the attention of Mayor Joe Hogsett, who met with Reese and helped him organize his first walk for peace.
We want peace in our street!
More than 2 years later, 10-year-old Reese is still committed to his mission to end gun violence.
It's bad. You're not supposed to kill somebody just because of this, or you want money, or you just want to rob them, or you just want to kill. It's not cool.
With the help of his family, Reese has held several peace walks over the years, but his mission does not end there. In 2017, Reese collected and delivered donations to a family that lost 2 young daughters in a house fire. Reese also brings food and supplies to the homeless throughout the year.
It's kind of hard for me because I'm a little kid, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean I can't keep on doing what I'm doing.
And even though he's a kid, Reese has a sobering message for adults committing crimes in his community.
Stop and think about it. Really think about it. Because if I was an adult and you were an adult and I was talking to you face to face, I would tell you to stop. You have kids, and if you're doing wrong things, then your kids might do the same things, and we don't want that.
Well, Reese has events planned for the rest of the year, including fundraisers and his first bike ride for peace in September. Saturday's Peace Walk begins at noon at the intersection of Dearborn Street and 30th Street on the northeast side. We need your help to recognize more young adults who are working for you. If you know of a kid or teenager who are making a difference in their community and inspiring others, let us know at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a job. I would call it a career.
Have you ever thought about working for the city? Why, tonight's Hiring Hoosiers story will have you checking out city-county job openings, no matter your skill set or level of education.
Men murdered by a serial killer and buried on a Hamilton County farm. Now part of the property is for sale. What could be built on top of the site where human remains were once hidden?
Working for you. Earlier you heard how RTV6 helped resolve separate issues after viewers asked for help. But those are not the only results we're getting this week.
Eastside residents worried about getting evicted turned to RTV6. Dozens of them say they paid their rent, but the apartment complex says their checks have vanished.
Well, only on RTV6 tonight, the tenants spoke with our Graham Hunter.
It's an eviction notice. Well, my rent, and I have already paid my rent.
Eventually, it was discovered it happened to dozens of residents. Some reported it to police, but the complex delivered eviction notices anyway.
They told me that I have to pay my rent again for the second time. I don't have the money to pay my rent a second time.
RTV6 is getting answers for tenants facing eviction despite paying their rent. Tonight, we heard back. An attorney says 18 residents could prove they tried to pay with check or money order. The complex will pay cancellation fees for those renters and will not pursue evictions against them. A pothole in a neighborhood near the Pyramids in College Park looks more like a doggy pool. Marie Farrell says her dog Maggie can fit her whole body in the pothole.
We showed you this huge pothole last night at 11, one large enough for a dog to fit comfortably inside. It was located on the 2900 block of Amherst in a neighborhood near the Pyramids in College Park. One neighbor told us she complained to the city over and over again, but there was never a response, and that is until last night after we ran this story. And today we see the pothole has been patched.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, a former farm in Westfield turned hidden burial ground of a serial killer could become the site of new homes. The property was once owned by Herbert Baumeister. He was linked to the murders of 11 to 20 men between 1980 to 1996. Well, in 1996, police recovered more than 5,000 human bone fragments buried on the land. A man who is trying to sell the property says people are aware of its history, but are still attracted by the beauty of the area.
Indianapolis is turning to the courts to get rid of an abandoned apartment complex accused of attracting crime, fires, and other problems. The city is suing to acquire Oak Tree Apartments near 42nd Street and Post Road on the east side. The health department condemned the building in 2014. The city and the property owner have been battling for years. The city wants to demolish the complex and redevelop the site.
From lifeguards to street sweeper operators to attorneys, you can find all of those job opportunities and more in one place. The Indianapolis City County government is hiring Hoosiers for dozens of positions, and there's something for everyone. Juwan Jones and Chris Kirshner are two examples. Juwan operates a street sweeper for the Department of Public Works. Chris is an auditor in the City County building. Both say their careers bring them personal fulfillment.
I love it. I was born and raised here, so it gives me great pride to kind of clean up the city that, you know, I was raised in.
I've always been interested in working like government, like public sector employment. I just feel like it seems like something that is more fulfilling to me personally.
The HR department says full-time positions start well above the minimum wage at $13 an hour and go up from there. You must be a Marion County resident to work for the city county government. You can find a link to the city county jobs page by going to hiringhoosiers.com and clicking on this story.
We are working to learn the extent of the damage and what it will take to make repairs after a semi jackknifed on I-70. It happened around 3:30 this afternoon on the bridge over I-465 northbound on the west side. You can see the damage on the overpass wall, and firefighters say debris fell down on 465. That did not lead to any damage or injuries. And storm damage cleanup will continue into the weekend. Carmel is one of many cities dealing with hundreds of fallen trees. So the city is reminding residents about rules and options. You can dispose of up to 20 extra bags or bundles of landscape for free this month under the city's trash and recycling program. The bundles must be cut into lengths less than 4 feet and tied. If you have a large fallen tree on your property, you'll need to contact a tree or landscape company. If you have large amounts of debris, you can contact Republic Services to have a dumpster delivered to your home. You can find that number and other information on the RTV6 app.
Meteorologist Kyle Mounts joining us now for your Storm Team 6 forecast. And we've had a busy 48 hours, past 48 hours.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty busy, and we had some strong winds. Noticed a lot of those trees, and some of them actually uprooted. Part of that because we've had so much rain. Since March 1st, we've had over a foot of rain. So soggy ground out there. We'll take some dry time. I know especially the farmers could use it. We got another dry day coming our way tomorrow, and then things turn a little more soggy again by Sunday. Let's take you through the overnight and your Saturday first, though. Still very mild downtown Indianapolis. 73 degrees right now in the middle. 60s for you in Kokomo. Bloomington, you've cleared out your skies. You're at 68 right now. Won't fall too far during the overnight hours. 65 in Bloomington. Arlington and Indy. Richmond starting off your weekend at 63. Going to be heading off to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Saturday. Lots of sunshine. We'll be greeting you there for qualifications. Temperatures, look at how quickly they're going to warm here. Lower 80s already by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 84, partly cloudy by 5. I think it'll be a little breezy as we head into the afternoon. That southwest breeze about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And don't forget the sunscreen. Not only if you're heading out to the speedway there, but any outdoor activities tomorrow, because the UV index is going to be very high at an 8, so it won't take very long to get that burn. As we check out TrueCast here throughout your Saturday, there's a lot of that sunshine. 10 a.m. temperatures into the middle 70s here. There are those lower 80s already returning to the forecast as we get into the middle of the day, and middle to even some upper 80s, not out of the question by Saturday afternoon. Notice we'll fill in a few more clouds here, but the rain and thunderstorm activity staying off to the north, a little closer to Chicago for the first half of the weekend. Sunday is where that does change. We've got that chance for showers and thunderstorms. Looks a little more ominous here as we have that chance throughout the day, but I think there are going to be some breaks in the activity. Temperatures stay a little bit cooler because we got the clouds and the rain around, highs into the 70s. Already a slight risk across pretty much all of central Indiana Sunday that some of those storms could produce some gusty winds and possibly some hail. So that's something we'll continue to track for you on social media and the RTV6 app throughout the weekend. Here's a look at TrueCast 6:30 Sunday morning. Start off the morning with some scattered showers. Another batch of rain will fill in here for the middle of the day. If that does come to fruition here, that would actually help minimize our severe weather threat as we head into Sunday evening, but we'll continue to watch that again for you pretty close. As we look at the 7-day planning forecast here, it cools down behind that system. Our high goes from 76 on Sunday. We flip those numbers around, get you to 67 for the high on Monday. We are right back into the 80s, though, for the middle of the week, and that chance for scattered thunderstorms.
Kyle, thank you. Before there was Airbnb, there was Grandma Cork.
In tonight's journey through the RTV6 archives, we take you back to 1984 when a grandmother opened up her home to out-of-town Indy 500 spectators.
Not to make a few bucks, but to join in on the action.
Now you see my big old rear.
Mim Cork is renting 3 rooms in her home to 8 guests this weekend in town for the 500 race. In order to make the space available, she'll sleep on the couch. Why do you do it?
Fun, excitement, and miss it for the world. I like people, and you get a big assortment of them.
Mim is one of many residents in Speedway who rent rooms to race fans.
It isn't the best of conditions, but they're happy, and they always get a good breakfast to go over there.
Mim says she gets so many requests, she refers them to other neighbors. By Sunday, Mim's front yard is going to be filled with cars and her home filled with guests. Some of her guests from Ohio have already arrived. Mim has been doing this for 18 years and says she's never had a problem.
I never say, do you smoke, drink, or whatever. I just look at them. If they look the way I want them to, they're in. I've never been shafted in my life, so I don't think it's going to start now.
Living 2 blocks from the track, Mim is in a prime location to charge premium rates, but she's not in it for the money. Her guests pay $15 a night per person. We've heard of residents charging $100 or more a night. For parking, Mim charges $5 a space. Others are much higher.
We're paying $60 for a 20-foot motorhome, and that's up 10 from last year, but we don't figure that's too bad.
Why do so many people pay the high prices? They say it's just all a part of being here. Marilyn Mitzel for the news, Channel 6.
And we checked current race weekend prices on Airbnb, and there are some Speedway homes going for almost $1,000 a night. Individual rooms are going for as much as $300 a night. Now, these daily trips down memory lane lead up to May 30th and our 1-hour special at 7 p.m. It's called 70 Years Together, Working for You. You can also find more memories from former WRTV staff at theindychannel.com/70years.
Fast Friday lived up to its billing today at the Speedway. The speeds went up as teams get ready for qualifying tomorrow. Up next, Trackside 6. Dave First has a recap of Friday's action.
Spread your wings. From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is Trackside 6.
Wrapping up Fast Friday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, we'll be right here. Borg Warner Trophy is going to be behind us as well, trying to fill the field, get it all set for the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500. All the more difficult, though, for Uncos Racing and their young driver, Kyle Kaiser. This was on just his second lap during practice today. Fast Friday, went through turn 3, got the car below the white line, never a good thing. Back in, came around, got airborne just a little bit before coming back down on all fours, but that tub is completely scrapped and really couldn't happen at a worse time for Uncos Racing. They're looking for sponsorship. They're looking for a lot of momentum the rest of the season. They're going to have to go to a backup tomorrow, but the good news is that is the plan. They think they'll get Kyle Kaiser back in qualifying tomorrow. You guys are putting up a good fight here, right?
Yeah, I think it's a shame. You know, we were really fast the whole week, and even today everything looks okay in data. We don't know what happened, you know, but things happen, right? You know, Indy is that way, and we just need to keep going. What else we can do?
So that's the good news tonight. Kyle Kaiser should be available for qualifying tomorrow, as will Oriol Servia, hoping to qualify for his 11th Indy 500 and maybe one day getting his likeness on the Borg Warner Trophy. He's got a new helmet for the month of May and something else, a little taste of the world of the Spaniard. Well, every year, Oriol Servia brings a new helmet for the Indy 500, usually a little twist, something different, and you've got it once again this year, is that right?
Yeah, I did. Usually, I mean, I'm double lucky. I have the best helmet painter in the planet, Troy Lee.
Yeah.
And he happens to be a very, very close friend. So usually, months before the month of May, of course, we get slightly drunk and we come up with some ideas that we hope to remember the next day, and that's the helmet. In this case, this year didn't work that way. I was on a flight. I watched this documentary, and I landed. I'm like, hey, I just had this crazy thought. What do you think? He started laughing and said, yeah, we're going to make people laugh. So we decided to do it. There's no other reason than that.
Let's see it.
But anyway, I'm going to start slowly. It has the typical Salvador Dali, like I always have. I'm from the same region. The colors of my flag, the Catalan flag, my sponsors, Coast, Motogator, Kinesis. But in this side,
oh no,
we do. You see, that's the reaction.
Bill Murray, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the reaction everyone's gonna have when they see it, and why not? There's gonna be probably 400,000 people watching us, so why not create a collab or two?
That's awesome. By the way, I don't know if you're a good backseat driver or not. There goes Fernando Alonso. Who's driving this golf cart?
Well, I'm a horrible backseat driver, so I decided to go with a golf cart that has no steering wheel, no chance of someone else. This is Coast Autonomous Driver 8, and it's working great.
An autonomous golf cart, ladies and gentlemen.
Autonomous golf cart is the best and safest way to move around the speedway.
There you have it. The world of the great Oriol Servia, only at the Indianapolis 500.
Let's go.
All told, no toe speeds from today and Ed Jones. A couple of Eds. 2 Eds are better than one. But Ed Carpenter Racing, 230.106. With the draft, though, the big speed today, Connor Daly up over 231 miles an hour. Qualifying begins at 11 a.m. We'll have complete coverage. Trackside 6, live from the Speedway tomorrow at 6. For now, Dave First reporting from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Prices at Ross. Yes for less. Monday on Good Morning Indiana.
We're going to be looking for about 150 additional bus drivers.
Why Indigo doesn't just want you on their buses, but needs you in the driver's seat.
You can win my car.
Be the 6th caller at 6 a.m. for your chance to win.
Public splash pads and spray grounds open tomorrow in Indianapolis. There are 18 around the city operated by Indy Parks. They're open from 8 to 8 through September 8th. Most city pools open the first week of June. Some will be open for Memorial Day weekend.
And perfect timing, because tomorrow we're going to have some summer-like heat. 86 degrees for us, sunny skies there. A little cooler on Sunday as we'll have our temperature at 76.
I'm thinking we need to go to a pool tomorrow, guys.
You want to do it?
Let's open it up.
Run through the splash and play?
I think so.
Something like that.
All right, good night.
Good night.
No, seriously.